Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here. Welcome back to some more of our road to the league. So we have promotion, we got it, and now it's on to summer transfer window stuff. So it's League One. We got a little bit of extra cash. We burned some of it in re-signing a couple players. Hopefully, us selling a couple players will get us some money as well. We'll kind of see how that goes, but we have the end of season review stuff to go through. So let us do this. So competition wise, to kind of sort it out, we'll do that when we're in the end of season review. So here we go. Our 2032 to 33 season. So I felt like some of the guys that we brought in had some big impact. We brought in Walsh because we did have to have him play one game, but the release clause, we can get 500k for him. That would be good. Garnett coming in from QPR as well. 21 goals, 4 assists. That's our signing of the season. That was a good one. Oriel coming in, getting an ESC spot, played 51 appearances, 1 as a substitute, 4 goals or 14 goals, 8 assists. I thought that was pretty good. I think him being where he is, I think he could be a guy that should get a work permit. However, when I went over to sign him, they said he wouldn't get a work permit, but his ESC, I don't know. It should be fine. Husband came in, 43 substitutions, did start 14 games, 3 goals, 7 assists. Gareth Jones here. We kind of switched up a little bit with him starting as a center back, and I think he played pretty well. 53 appearances, 3 in substitution, 1 goal, 1 assist. Giovanni just in there as a spot substituter. Kurt Bopp, so we brought him from Q Alexandria, and I thought he played well. He is on the back portion of maybe his ability. I don't know what we're going to ultimately do there. Charlie Back coming in from Liverpool. 37 appearances for him, 2 goals, 2 assists. I mean, he did get an injury late in the season, so he probably should have had 40 to 45 substitutions. Pullen was just a reserve guy, and then the 3 youngsters from Chelsea that we brought in. Gethin Ellis had 37 off the bench, 17 starting. I thought he did pretty well with what he needed to do. Steve O'Raw came in for a couple of games, and then Leo Toms came in for 4. Didn't play great, but we're trying to get it under 21s going, and I think if we get it under 21s, a lot of this will actually work out. Transfers out. I mean, some of these transfers out, the board doesn't like, but Cameron Young and maybe Sonny Davis could have got a release fee. A little bit more release fee from some of these guys, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like the moves we made did help us kind of secure promotion. Loans out. Again, the board thinks we should have got some loan fees with some of these guys, but hey, it happens. So at the end of the day, I feel like we did well. In the actual league, obviously we took 5th in the finish, went to the playoffs. We will get promoted up with Horsham, Mansfield Town, and Aldershot Town. That was big with that one. Our average home attendance, 66%. Gillespie with 26 goals. FA Cup, a big game. They got us a lot of money, about $1 million with that, even though it was a 4-0 loss to Liverpool. We got a lot of money from that. Carabao Cup, we lost, I believe, away at the racecourse against Wrexham, 3-0. I mean, I don't think we stood a chance. Wrexham was just there, and we just couldn't do it. Now, the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, I think we had a real opportunity to win here. Us losing to Wigan Athletic and not having a goal, that's bad. Especially when we played pretty well. We've only given up maybe 1 goal a game, and then literally we just couldn't do it there. So, goal of the season was a 70-minute. It's the only goal for us, actually. Okay. Let's see it. Harvey dribbling up here. Tate is injured on this one. So Harvey has to take this all the way up, and it is a Lower 90 laser there from the 18. So, okay. That was a good one. All right, the money. So we move up to a regional reputation, which is good. Not just local. Sponsorships went up. Our broadcast revenue was insane for this year. But of course, we're talking about jump from Vanarama National League to League Ones or League Two. So that's going to be higher going into this next year. I don't know if it's going to be double, but to be probably around 600K, which will be nice. Corporate hospitality doubled. Competition prize money doubled because obviously we did some good work in the competition. Plus, I don't think the league compensation is included here. And in the match day commercial and retail, could have been better, but I think this is increasing. How we lined up, I think we're going to line up differently this next season, but we played a 5-3-2 and it worked out for the most part. So we didn't get any awards this year. Our fans player of the season and young player are both Adam Gillespie. Signing of the season, James Garnett. Goal of the season, we saw that. Top goal scorer is Gillespie as well. Marlon Tate gets most man of the matches. Most assists goes to Andrew Greasley. Highest average rating does go to Gillespie. Most goals by a player. Marlon Tate still increasing as his career at this point at Southport. 116 goals. 116 goals. That's a little off for me. It's not center. It's bothering me. Okay, competition awards. Top goal scorer. We'll look at the stats, but it was Adam Gillespie was the top goal scorer in the league. Club visions and expectations. I mean, I'm good with this. Just attempt to avoid relegation. We'll just say yes. Now the boys. I want to talk about League One. I'm going to say I think we can target not being relegated. So there's that. So that is set. I'm starting to look at coaches as well. So I'm looking for a set piece coach. We're finally going to get that. Looking to revamp our goalkeeping, better fitness, a couple other scouts, get a head of sports science, and also 1 or 2 more scouts, I think, at this point. We are allowed to have 2 more scouts. Also looking to get the coaches down here up and going since we only have 1. So that's what we're trying to do because we get 7 coaches down here and the physios. We'll see if anyone accepts that. The biggest thing also is we're trying to get that youth under 21s. We'll see how that goes. Our re-signs we're looking at right now is sent a contract to Jimmy Oriel, Gillespie, Tor. Wilcock, we're going to hold off a little bit because we might go with Tom. Pitts, and then Harvey's going to actually attempt to be sold. There's a couple of guys that I'm going to release as well off here. Like Doyle, and Scylla, Gottlieb, and Crowley will be out at this point. They give us a little money, nothing crazy at this juncture. I'm hoping we have enough to play here, but I think I'm not sure. We'll have to see. So that kind of wraps up everything we've done so far. We do have a couple of guys that we're going to bring in. We're trying to bring in Jamal Baker from Chelsea. He looks like a good little player here. Good, and he's resolute. I think he could be a great player for us playing on defense. Plus, he has the ability to grow a little bit. They're saying League One. Sam Schumacher is the other one from Man City. Not as consistent, but I think he could be a great midfielder. Good marking, tackling technique, needs to get his passing up. Okay, physicals, the bravery's there, the aggression's there. I think this is a good defensive midfielder. I think. We're trying to get a couple of guys to come in on trial. We're looking at Will Alves I'm not sure how good he could be, but we need someone that can attack us. We're going to change our formation a bit. Christian Marsh, another guy that we're bringing in, can play a little wing, but also I think he could play back as a Metzala role or midfield. So we're liking that. What we're ultimately going to play, we're not going to play this, and we're definitely not going to play this. Ultimately, I think to this coming up, we're going to be playing a fluid counterattack. Actually, yeah, let's play a fluid counterattack with this. And we'll play a 4-3-3, I think, at this point is what we're going to do. So how that lines up, Garnett will be on the right side. I think Gillespie can only play striker. So it ends up being something like this. Oriel more of a Metzala. Bob is more of advanced playmaker on support. Pitts is like, actually it's going to be Jones here. Pitts likely comes out. Right now it'll be probably Watts will be the one here. Now out wide is the issue that I'm thinking of, because we don't have a lot of good side players out here that could play wing back. I mean, Tor's still a pretty good defensive guy on that, but I'm not sure if Greasy can play that on the outside. Now, ball playing defender is probably the best thing that we can do in the middle. And then Watts playing as a ball winning midfielder. Maybe it's one of these bits. And Garnett plays more of an inside forward. And then maybe we want to play as more of an inside forward like this, with Gillespie being more of an advanced forward and pressing up. So maybe that's kind of what we want to do. Obviously, we won't play cautious in possession. We want to play high tempo, play out of defense. Early cross, we'll do mixed. We're not going to run at defense. We're pretty much going to play the same way that we've been doing, other than we're going to press up a little bit. We're not going to drop off more, and we want to prevent pretty much that. So essentially, we're playing the same way, but ultimately, I think what we're going to end up doing is changing it up a bit. So what that means is, well, this is our left. This is our right. A back is going to have to play more here. Usman goes on the left, so that's going to have to pull back here. We don't have someone that can play the middle right now, so maybe middle defender. Ellis could be that guy that plays that middle. Or maybe back is the one that could play out on the right. Or the middle, actually. So in all actuality, we are good here. This is actually, we flipped it now. So Leo Toms is up here, and this goes defense to striker. And then these are our reserve, or guys that will probably play in this. So this is the formation we're kind of going to be thinking about playing at this point. We might flip it up just a little bit. But yeah, that's what we're going to be playing this upcoming year, which is why Alvi's coming in and get some wing back depth or winger depth will be good. Same thing with March, getting some wing and midfield depth might be good. That means Baker is likely going to be the guy out wide. I think Baker could be a good player for us there. And then Schumacher being a central defender or midfield, I think this is probably the key for him. So kind of thinking about the future, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to what we're ultimately going to do. Our other guys on here that we were looking at for released, I mean, Marios might be a guy that we can bring in, but his technique is not the greatest. I just don't think, with him being a fickle personality and lacking consistency, he's going to grow into really anything. And then obviously a lot of other guys have looked. Now we do have a couple of guys that I've wanted to bring in, but I don't think that's going to be possible. I don't think Harvey, Vincent, or Barney here is any good, up to par. I did think about maybe Noah Carroll, but this man, while he wants to leave the club, I don't see any remote idea of him staying up here. And if he does, this is literally our Metzala right here. This is our Metzala if we can pull it in, but I don't think that's going to be possible for there. So we're looking at a couple of guys also here. Hayden Arnott could be a guy we could go after. We get a winger. I mean, we're thinking of, I mean, this is nothing but a wing guy as opposed to someone that's going to attempt to come in and score. Same thing here, not great defensive abilities, needs some room to grow with Clarence there. Otherwise, just kind of look through. We have no lost bids, no loans. Our international targets, nothing crazy here. These will drop off, but yeah, just not seeing it. End of contracts, so we have a couple of guys, and or really one just guy that we've seen might give us a little help, but I'm not seeing it. Bids aren't there. Default, again, is everyone we've kind of bid through, and we'll kind of see what we can get. Recruitment focus, I mean, we have a couple of players in here that maybe are worth it, but the issue is we just don't have the budget to keep scouting, so I think I just need to do a better job there, to be honest. That's what it comes down to. I need to do a better job of controlling that. But there's a couple good players in here. It's just they're going to cost a decent amount of money. Kind of sign, and it's probably not the best thing to think about, because we're going to probably need that salary to bump in. So there is where we're at now. Now the league itself that we're coming out of, because we're switching up this portion, this stuff. We had 3 goal scorers over the top 15. Tate had 15, Garnett had 18, and Gillespie had 26. He led the league there. Otherwise, I don't think we led the league in anything other than Keelan Wilcox did have 15, but Evan Watts had 20 shutouts. Other than that, I mean, I don't see anything else. Greasley's here in an assist, but he is tied for third with 12. Matthew Edwards from Colchester United at 14. Nothing crazy here, and I don't see us anywhere else without games without losing. We had 4, almost tied Aldershot Town that had 5. Looking at it by a squad role here. Most goals, obviously, Adam Gillespie with 29, Gardner had 21, Marlon Tate had 20, and that's in all competitions there. Oriel had 14, so that was a good one there. Most assists, Greasley and Marlon Tate had, well, actually, we have 3 in double digits. Ashley isn't actually here, so Bob had 11, Tate had 12, Greasley had 13. Our highest rating guy, David Walsh, but he only played 1 game, so it doesn't really count. Adam Gillespie with 50 appearances, 55 really, with a 7.17. Hits on defense was a 7.04, and then James Garnett, who came in for 24 starting appearances and 28 substitutions, let's have 0.0 or 7.04. So pretty decent there. I mean, at the end of the day, it just comes down to our best player still being between Jimmy Oriel, Garnett, Harvey, and Walsh. Our highest potential players, Ellis, Oriel, and Jamie Jones, which Jamie Jones might get a little bit more playing time this year. We'll kind of see. And then Toms is also up there as well. Now, I was looking at Toms. We might go with him over Wilcock, and the reason why that is he's a better shot stopper than Wilcock. It doesn't have the same aerial. A little bit less speed, but is more physical. He has the mental communication, a little bit less eccentric, but I mean, this is one that we just have to get, I think, Tom some playing time, and I think he might grow into a great prospect. He's resolute. He's consistent performer. I feel like if we can give him some time, he's there. This is probably more of a consolidation year more than anything. we'll kind of see if there's another goalkeeper that we can probably bring in that's better than Wilcock and Tom's. We'll probably do that. So that is what we're going to do. And now I'm going to skip forward and we're going to skip around and we're going to see what we ultimately pull out of this one, because this is going to be particularly interesting. So giving a couple free transfers, some guys. Marsh is going to come in on trial and Alves will as well. And we'll see what we can get. Marsh, like I say, is a decent Skybet League 2. I mean, to be honest, he's probably more of a midfielder, Marsh is. Alves, I can see it. I can see that he's not up to speed. Okay. So that will be that, and we'll keep on going through. And Ellis does have some international duty, so we'll kind of see him. We're not going to get an under 21s team. All right, so Jamal Baker is going to go to Rotherham. He wants to play in League 2 for whatever reason. Kind of unfortunate. He would have been a good player. So there is that. We're looking at some guys that we're scouting. However, we do get Sam Schumacher. Now, what was the better one out of this? Probably Schumacher. Probably Schumacher. That's an unknown. That is a complete unknown from there. All right, so I found this guy over in Liverpool's under 18s. Actually going to be released, 17 years old, does not turn 18 until towards the end of the year. So we'll have him pretty early. Could improve a lot. We don't really see what he could be, but he's going to start at the under 18s. I don't think his contract was anything that was massive. So breakthrough prospect with him. I think he's going to be playing more under the under 18s. Like I said, I think he could be a pretty good player. Consistent. Does have some issues being a mercenary wise, but that mostly means that he is going to request more money and more likely to leave, as opposed to being a negative. So we'll see it. I think we'll be good. I think. So the idea on that is Daryl Young is also back, coming off this June 1st. We're trying to see if we can sell a couple of guys while we also bring in many of our coaches at this point. So there is that. I don't think he's actually back yet, I think. Even though I have it to where these guys that are over 19 should be up at the first team. And this is our under 18s right here. It's just these guys, which is not a great under 18s bit, but we'll slowly see if we can get these guys up. Slowly, we'll see if we can get a couple guys that are under 18 still. So we'll kind of see. But I think we've made some good progress so far. So our first sell, I think, well, not in the series, but pretty close to the series at this point. Poland's going to go to Burton Albion. Now, he was kind of not enjoying himself here, so we're going to sell him over, I mean, for 75k. That's actually a pretty decent bit. We only get 52 of this, but it's okay. That 52 will actually help us get back up what we ended up putting in the transfer budget, or the scouting budget. So there's that. All right, so we are towards the end of the season, getting ready for next season. We had the first game against Salford, I think. So the guys going out, we kind of knew that Pullen was leaving to Burton Albion. Pereira went over to Rexford, and that's for a loan. And Alexander Borman went to Bromsgrove Sporting for 2.1K. So that's a good fee there. For the guys who brought in, so Sam Schumacher, we kind of saw this. We brought him in. I think he'd be a pretty good player for us. I think with him, he might actually be the first sub for us. Jose from Cheltenham Town, brought him in. He's not going to grow more, maybe a tad bit more, but he's consistent. I think he could do some work for us on defense, and we just need a player to kind of stabilize. He's good with both feet, so we need him to come in the middle. It's there, possible. We'll see at the end of the day. And then Scott Strachan from Liverpool came in on a free. 17 years old. We got a youngster here, and I think he is going to be absolutely fantastic. He's going to be down at the under 18s to start. And if we have more growth for him, I think we're going to possibly see him actually have some pretty good work for us down the road. So I think he's going to be really good if he can stay healthy. The last two that we brought in, Nick Griffiths from Middlesbrough on a free, 19 years old. We used to need to bring in another striker that could play up top. He is a weak left-footed, so we have to hope that he can still score with his right foot a lot. But developmental guy, and, well, at the end of the day, we just needed a striker that can play up top. And then Tom Singh, brought in, Liverpool youngster, was released. I think he could be a very good player for us as well. And he is going to be up at the first team at 18 years old. The thing is, our under 21s aren't in a league, so we're going to keep on pounding them away into their own friendlies. And as we need them, if we need them, they'll be our guys that kind of back us up. First game, though, Garnett did get hurt on his international duty. So with Salford City here, obviously it's not going to be Garnett that's going to be up on top. I think we're going to change this just a little bit. Nick Griffiths is going to be the one that's going to be pushing. And yes, it might not be the greatest thing, but attacking midfielder on the left, and we're going to get him as an inside forward and just hope that he can do something. Actually, he's on the right, not the left. On the right. He's right-footed. Why did I think that? Okay. So he is going to learn that position, and hopefully he can get some good stuff going. Tate's going to be up here at Galipsy. Oriel's going to be the Metzala. We did get him a work permit, so he's not taking up an ESC slot, which is nice. He is up to a Skybet League 2 player right now, which will be nice for him. Bop is up here as well, playing pretty good. Slowly growing a little bit here and there, but 23 years old. We need him to grow faster. Harvey is going to be the guy that comes in because of an injury to Watts, and we did retain him, so there is that. He's not the greatest at tackling, but I think we'll hold him just because of his partnership, and Schumacher's probably the next one in at this. I mean, comparing him, maybe I'm off base completely. I am off base completely. You know what? Schumacher is going to be the one playing there. And we'll see how that works. So Schumacher will be the starter there, defensive mid. The back is going to be Gareth Jones, and Gallagher is the one starting. This will be back in here. Watts is going to be the one that is going to be a reserve defender. Now, we could put Watts. You know what? Schumacher can play defense, so let's get Watts in here like he normally is. I thought he was injured. I don't know what I was thinking. I think he was injured at one time and we had to put someone else there. So Watts is going to be the DM. That makes sense. Gareth Jones and Gallagher in back, both ball playing defenders. Jose on the right and Tor on the left. And we'll kind of see it on the bench. Leo Towns will be our backup goalkeeper. So that is we're probably going to change him to is the backup goalkeeper at this point. And David Walsh will be the starting keeper at this point. So first choice goalkeeper with this, and this is how we'll be. If Walsh kind of does not do well, we'll see what's going on. But Wilcock didn't want to sign a new contract, so he moves on. And it's Walsh and Leo Toms kind of fighting over that position. At the end of the day, also, we have Garnett, who's going to be on the bench for this first game, but likely be subbed in later. Greasley, Jamie Jones, Harvey, Schumacher, and Pitts on the reserves. So that's how it's got to be in this. Hopefully we can get something good, because all the guys that their contracts do expire is actually not that many, but Tate is one of them. Despite him being a leading veteran north-south guy, this man has put down absolute monsters amount of goals. So I'm kind of confused why he isn't growing. However, we did get a couple new coaches in, so that's good. We have all of our coaches, and we are one of the best coach teams in the league right now. We should be seeing some advantage in that. Hopefully from here, I mean, 1.8, we're still going strong. I'm going to see if I can pull in maybe something else. Let's see. Maybe increase youth level. If we increase the youth level, that will help a little bit. And then maybe the training facilities for the first team. If we have to spend some of that money, it is an opportunity to be there. Now, what our projections look like, they think 4.2 million is how much we are going to hemorrhage here. I don't think that's necessarily true. We have no TV rights here. Our stadium, we have not sold out completely yet. Maybe what we do is expand. I guess it comes down to how far we get in the FA Cup and if we can do something in the Carabao Cup. We did draw Bolton Wanderers to start the year. Another League One team. It's all about trying to avoid not being relegated in this one. Season preview. So, of course, we're not going to have anyone to Media Dream 11. And we are slated to be the 24th team in the league. Okay. There's that. We have two players for key players. Garnett and David Walsh. They're the last two in the key players. So that's going to be interesting here. We just need to win and get 40 points, and I think we'll be fine. 50 is the cushion for that. We actually did beat a couple of teams at this point. So how we had it that were relegated down is Oxford United, Bristol Rovers, and Millwall were relegated down. In the championship, it was Tranmere, Hull City, Charlton Athletic, and Reading. Actually, no, Charlton Athletic, Hull City, and Tranmere that were promoted. Out of the Premier League, it was Reading, Leicester City, and Wolves. Those promoted into the Prem were Sheffield United, West Brom, and Sunderland. So nothing crazy in that. Relegated out of League One was Chesterfield, Rochdale, and Cheltenham Town, along with Swindon Town. Promoted up in League Two was Torquay United, Grimsby, and that's it, because there's only two promotions from the Venerable National League. So yeah, that is a hard bit to kind of swallow there. Season is here to be underway. So next episode, we will get this show on the road. I'm ready. Hopefully you're ready. First two games, maybe the third against Stockport County as well. going into this next episode. So thank y'all for joining me. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.